Working with the Gorillaz has been a very big blessing. It has been, I would say, one of the third best experiences in my career. No, I'll say fourth, because first is Nitro, second would be working with the JBs, the third would be Spit Kicker, and fourth would be working with the Gorillaz. That ensemble is like being a part of a musical, a theatrical musical, almost like a circus, you know, and just waiting for your slot. And everybody hits the stage with their A game, you know. A friendly, competitive thing when it comes to live performance. Almost like a school trip that hasn't ended when we go out on tour, you know, because here it is, we've been touring with them the last year and a half with this last album, Humanz. Yeah, this has been a great experience, you know, to be on stage with all these musicians, these talented singers, rappers, everybody from different cultures, ethnic groups, genders, all of that. It's been and spending so much close time. Like, we not just on stage together, we really been spending close time together. Dinner, lunch, all of that, same hotels, clubs, whatever. So it's been a whole new family, you know, and the people who are part of this whole artistic process, because it's not just Damon, although he's the main guy, you know, it's his vision. But everybody who's a part of this artistic process, man, are some very talented people, man. And how they all come together on point to make sure this program resonates to the audience is, in the last year, it's the #1 tour that's been going around, you know, the world. And I'm really amazed to be a part of especially a record where all I do is just laugh. How about that? A laugh that I got ridiculed for when I was a kid. Maybe got into a few fist fights behind because somebody teasing me. And now I'm out here on stage, and that's like the uproar, the turn up in the whole song. It's surreal. It's very surreal, man, you know. But it's definitely been a learning experience on what we look to continue to do as a live band performing as De-La Soul, the three of us, you know, taking all the lessons from what we learned from Run DMC and L and Kane and them to now learning what we learned from hanging out with Damon and The Clash and all of them, and modifying constantly. Like, I hope that, you know, I mean, I'm coming up on 48, bro, you know. I hope I could continue to do this like James Brown. I could do it to death, you know what I'm saying? I really can. I mean, there's nothing like this, you know. After the 15 minutes of fame, you have to consider yourself, you have to decide if you want to be a professional entertainer or not, you know. A lot of my comrades focused on being celebrities. We focused on being entertainers. We focused on being artists. If that brings it to a level of celebrity, then cool, you know what I mean? But that's not what we focused on. We focused on going to work, doing what we love, you know? And at this point, I ain't changing. I ain't trying to do nothing different. I'm comfortable in my skin. What made the Gorillaz Human album was my brother Twilite Tone. He was a signature piece in that whole project. A very ingenious idea, you know. I have to give props to Damon Albarn for really sorting out Twilite Tone to be a part of that whole production for this album. First of all, if anybody who truly knows Tone, his whole soul is on that record. It really is. Like, that record is, especially next to all the other Gorilla records, you know, it's very soulful. You know, it touched a whole nother demographic than the previous records. it did exactly what I knew Damon wanted it to do. In the times that we living in, it crossed a lot of ethnic groups, genders. Not only that it's artistically great, it made a tremendous political statement, you know. And Tone sit right at Twilite Tone, excuse me, y'all, sit right at the cusp of the entire direction of that project, you know, not just producing, but if he's not listed as an executive producer, he should be, because Damon fed off him. I can tell, you know, he fed off him for that record, you know. They had a great synergy going on. And there was a couple times I did go to the studio and I was checking out their vibe, like, you know, it was like a match made in heaven, you know. I was slightly envious. I wish I could have been the one. But I'm proud of Tone, for real, man. He's definitely, he's done so much for hip hop, let alone, you know, I call Tone our modern day Larry Levan. He know how to bring everybody together, man. You know, he truly know how to, you know, put one nation under a groove.